You're watching Rurouni K95's anime review on Yukikaze. Hi Ruronis, this is your pal Rurouni K95 here. Today's anime review, we get to cover an anime OVA series that has 5 episodes. For today's anime review is Yukikaze. Yukikaze, also known as Battle Fairy Yukikaze, is a 5 episode Japanese direct-to-video anime series produced by Gonzo and Bandai Visual and was released in Japan from August the 28th, 2002 to August 25th, 2005. It is based on a popular science fiction novel of the same name by Chohei Kambayashi as well, and was produced in a commemoration of Bandai Visual's 20th anniversary. It was also later aired in Japan on the anime television network Animax, who later aired in its English networks across Southeast Asia and other networks worldwide. So without any further ado, this anime OVA has lasted about 5 episodes for 49 minutes each from August 28th, 2002 to August 26th, 2005. So let's review Yukikaze. Let's begin. The human race has been beaten in invasion by an alien race called the Jam back to its home planet Fairy. Fairy Air Force, the unmandated military organization tasked with neutralizing and eventually eliminating the alien threat, assigns an armed strategic reconnaissance, or whatever you want to pronounce it, the aircraft codenamed Yukikaze and equipped with an AI to Lieutenant Ray Fukai of the Subdomine, a special air force with the intention to record on jam movements as well. The battlefield tactics one day. However, an encounter with a gray sylph, a jam duplicate of the Yukikaze, lands him in hot water with its superiors. During another patrol, Fukai is captured by jam clones wanting to study the plane. He kills one of his captors and escapes with the plane from an alien entity disguised as the FAF Forward Air Base, but ends up being pursued and shot down by the Grey Sylph as the Grey Sylph attempts to finish off Fukai's aircraft. The Yukikaze AI jacks an FRX-99 a prototype UCAV that was undergoing operational tests at the time, and uses it to destroy the Grey Sylph. The OWL updates its files to the FRX-99, ejects Fukai, and iterates Yukikaze's wreckage. The ordeals from the previous mission leaves Rei Fukai in a catatonic state, which provides short-lived when he responds to the Yukikaze AI, now transferred into the prototype FRX 000 Mave, which is basically a manned version of the FRX-99 that has been equipped with a countermeasure system to detect jam computer infiltrations, as the later strafes a FAF tactical airfield that identifies as a jam entity during a test flight. This and several suspected acts of sabotage made on other AFF aircraft or FAF aircraft raises to alarms to some FAF officials, including Brigadier General Cooley, on possible jam infiltrates. She assigns Ray to the prototype Maeve under the observations of Edith Foss, who will soon have an opportunity to profile both Ray and Yukikaze under combat situations to expect what is going on in Yukikaze as well. By this time, Ray and another Fairy Air Force crew member investigate a Banshee flying an aircraft carrier that opened fire on a friendly forces. Prior further inspection on the seemingly deserted carrier reveals that it's being used by Jam to create human clones. But which, you guessed it, do you expect what is going on with you creating clones in Yukikaze as well? Especially human clones being created in the anime OVA Yukikaze, which that is the question, though. When a transmission to finding triggers the AFF's computerized command and control system into launching a SRBM to destroy the Banshee. Ray escapes, but his companion, upon discovery that he himself is a Jam clone, elects to stay behind on board the doomed air fortress. So this time, above all this, Ray and Yukikaze fly back to Earth to test the plane's new engines, but Jam forces follow them out of patrol of the portal, which is almost not in a good way. An Earth-born Japanese Navy aircraft carrier battle group, mistaking the Jam attackers for an unauthorized FAF aircraft, is taken by surprise and quickly fall into a disarray. The Admiral, the Japanese flagship, is only saved from a final ramming attempt by the aliens by Ray's timely intervention, what you see in Yukikaze. So the Yukikaze is forced to land on in the Admiral for refueling, and it is right there Ray would find out how ignorant Earth has become to the war raging on Ferry. To expect what is going on in the anime OVA series Yukikaze, which you guessed it as well. So, which is basically the questionable reason thing about what you expect in Yukikaze as well. By this time, concluding that Planet Fairy is in fact the collective of Jam itself, and that Jam infiltrators are on the eve of starting a mutiny, the AFF devises a plan to lure Jam infiltrators into a trap while pulling the rest of their forces out of Fairy. In response, Jam arrays its entire fighting force between the FAF and their portal of escape and hijacks some of the AFF's UCAFVs, causing chaos within FAF formations, intent on settling scores with GAM, which is basically capitalized as the name Jam for short, who have repeatedly tried to hack the Yukikaze AI, which is not in a good way particularly. So when Ray, Fukai, and the AI launch in one final sortie to escort nuclear weapons into the heart of the Jam Collective, giving the FAF the opening they need to escape and seemingly sacrificing themselves in the process, if you will. And that's my review on the anime OVA series Yukikaze. I mean, what do I think about it? I find this really basically a little Top Gun-ish type anime, but it's basically a lot more reminiscent to my previous anime review, which is basically Macross Plus. Come to think of it, Yukikaze only has basically 5 episodes on there. And how do you get when you got an anime OVA? Basically, this partly commemorates the 20th anniversary of Bandai Visual, which basically has a lot to do for Yukikaze as well for this particular anime series, which is basically given in the title. If anybody wanted to explain about what Yukikaze is, basically given in the way about recommended anime series, basically in the process. This anime is a little almost to the extent of Area 88 anime, which is another anime title which I've mentioned in this anime review as well. But this is a lot more reminiscent to Macross Plus, basically. But I'm surprised that they never made Yukikaze taking 5 episodes and wanted to make it as a movie version, kind of like they did with Macross Plus, but that never happened because. So it's basically stayed as a direct-to-video type anime OVA because it's basically only has 5 episodes. Because I thought this was supposed to be like a movie version of the OVA, just like Macross Plus. But no, but this is how presented as it was to intended for Yukikaze, for this particular anime series. OVA series like Yukikaze, to explain what it is for this particular anime series. It's not like if Sin the movie was almost an hour or some combined OVA they wanted to hawk it as a feature-length movie like Armitage the Third Polymatrix or Macross Plus as well. And also, it doesn't need to have a compilation movie, Particularly, they wanted to hawk a anime TV series. They wanted to hawk it as a feature film, as a compilation movie in general, unlike any other anime in the planet. But no, Yukikaze is particularly the most intriguing anime OVAs that came out in the early 2000s because this is particularly the pinnacle of anime titles, particularly up until basically how do you expect of what can you get when this anime OVA series like Yukikaze basically has like 5 episodes because it doesn't need to have a movie version, but they just keep it as a 5 episode OVA version because there's only 5 episodes because never to say none of the less. And most of all, and on top of that, Yukikaze won the Tokyo Anime Award for Original Video Animation in both 2003 and 2006 at the same year, which is particularly in the mid 2000s as well. And yet, come to think, and on top of all of this, this anime OVA series was directed by Masahiko Okura as well. And come to think of it, this anime OVA series basically did got a DVD release on there. Come to think of it, based on the science fiction novel by Chohei Kanzabayashi, Yukikaze was produced by Gonzo Victor Entertainment and Bandai Visual to commemorate Bandai Visual's 20th anniversary. The first 5 episodes of the series was originally released directly to DVD as an original video animation. Because, when I mean original video animations, they're basically shortened as OAV, or is it just OVA? Because they're basically like direct-to-video anime, particularly, which doesn't get any better than this as well, come to think of it. It was later aired in Japan on the anime television network Animax, which also aired the series on its English language networks across Southeast Asia and other networks worldwide as well. Yukikaze was licensed for an English language release in North America by Bandai Entertainment as well. In Australia and New Zealand by Madman Entertainment, and it is licensed for regional releases in France by Bees Entertainment, in Italy by Shin Vision, and Panini Video in Germany as well. Because, come to think of it, Yukikaze did got a DVD release in Italy by Shin Vision, which is probably only in Italy as well. Because, come to think of it, Yukikaze basically only has 5 episodes on there. Each of the runtime basically has 28 to 49 minutes, which is almost basically like a short OVA series because it's almost as episodic, or it's just how it is what it is for this particular series like Yukikaze. To explain what it is about this, besides given in the title, like it's some kind of epic name for this anime series, OVA series, to explain what it is about Yukikaze, about what it is about Yukikaze, how it's basically the science fiction and the drama in Yukikaze, of how you expect if you ever see the anime OVA series Yukikaze as well. And yet, this looked like something Nozomi Entertainment would have... can you imagine it? Speaking of Nozomi Entertainment, because Yukikaze was only released on DVD by Bandai Entertainment as well. Can you imagine if Nozomi Entertainment would have gotten a Blu-ray release of Yukikaze? That'll be or Sentai Filmworks would have gotten a Blu-ray release. That'll be awesome. It'll be in better high definition as well. So that's going to be it for my anime review on Yukikaze for today's anime review. Thank you for watching, but before we go, here's my thoughts on Yukikaze. When I first watched this, I find this a little reminiscent to Macross Plus because it's how intended for this, reminiscent to other animes that I mentioned in this anime review as well. If you haven't seen Yukikaze, I highly recommend you can watch it on Tubi TV, or if you can get it on DVD as well. It's been a while since I watched Yukikaze. Hope subscribe for content. My Anime Planet link in the description down below. You can share this video on your Twitter, Facebook. If you have Twitter, Facebook account, and all social media, be sure to get this video a thumbs up by clicking on the like button on this video. Feel free to leave in the comments section. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, RoniK95. Feel free to join my channel. If you're new to my channel, hit the notifications bell button. Keep it otaku for this anime review, and I got another anime review next here. Stay tuned for my next anime review. I got an 80s giant robot anime for tomorrow's anime review on Space Warrior Baldios. Stay tuned for my next anime review on Space Warrior Baldios, because you won't want to miss another anime review.